Good morning, everyone. It is Weather with Sim again. I hope you guys are all having a great New Year so far. And in today's video, we're going to be going over on the U.S. on these storm systems, and some of them have actually been strengthening quite a bit, to be honest. This will bring more of a threat for heavy rain across the Midwest and Ohio Valley. This may even bring a chance for snowfall too as well across the Ohio Valley, so we're talking mixed precipitation being a possibility. And then even back to parts of New England, we may be talking a heavy rain, even a wind event unfolding sometime next week or even this week. This will have to be something to watch very closely. And first of all, we're going to go ahead and start you guys off on the European model. And as you guys can probably see that the system will just pretty much head just straight across Louisiana into Florida. This is mainly bringing heavy rain and as well as a couple rumbles of thunder. Then as that finally heads out, we see another system move through, and this one isn't as active as the next one we're going to see. This is more of a typical El Nino type setup for how this one is going to play out, with a pretty low pressure system just continuing to get lower and lower as it continues up the coast. And then we see another storm move through, and just look at this one, guys. This one will bring a threat for mixed precipitation across Indiana, Illinois, and Missouri, and then maybe even a threat for heavy rain down here to the south. We even have a severe weather threat to talk about, and we'll talk about that after we finish taking a look at this radar and as well as the total rainfall and snowfall with the European model. But anyway, as we continue to take that far, we'll see another storm system move through too as well, and then we'll have to keep watching for more of that happening. So I think we will have to be watching at least this storm system. I'm gonna be bringing this back, at least this one right here. This one seems to be the most significant of all, so we'll have to watch that one very closely, so make sure to keep that in mind. But now we're going to go ahead and look at your guys' total rainfall, and as you guys see, we are seeing some pretty good rainfall across the Ohio Valley in the Midwest. This area right here, we can expect about an inch to even 2 inches of rain in some areas. 1 to 2 inches of rain is what expected across this area, so make sure to keep that in mind if you live in New England, or at least the upper part of New England rather, getting through the Ohio Valley, Great Lakes region, and down here into the Midwest and as well as the plains. So make sure to keep that in mind if you do live in that area. And then this area right here will also have to keep an eye on some pretty good rainfall too as well. This one will be more like a threat for flash flood, and we'll also go over that in a second after we finish taking a look at this and as well as the total snowfall. But this area right here, anywhere from 2 inches to about 5 inches of rain is what we expect across this area right here. So also keep that in mind if you do live in that area right there. And then back up here into the northern part of the United States, at least the northwest part, we are seeing some pretty good rainfall there too as well. And this whole area right here is seeing about the same thing over here, where we're seeing anywhere from 2 to even 5 inches of rainfall across this area right here. So also keep that in mind if you do live in the northwest United States. So I would definitely be aware of this if you do live in that area. And now we're going to go ahead and take a look at your guys' total snowfall in pretty big area actually. So back here through parts of New England, we're seeing some pretty good snowfall across these areas. We're seeing at least around a half a foot to even a foot of snow. So we're going to say anywhere from 6 inches of rainfall. So 6 inches of rainfall to snowfall, to 12 inches of rainfall. or snowfall. I keep saying that wrong. I apologize, guys. So anywhere from 6 to 12 inches of snowfall is what we can expect for the Mid-Atlantic and as well as New England. So make sure to keep that in mind if you do live in that area. And then right here into parts of the plains and as well as the Midwest, we also expect some pretty good snowfall totals too as well. We expect anywhere from about an inch in some areas to as high as 12 inches in some areas of snowfall. So make sure to keep that in mind if you do live in this area right here. And then back through pretty big area of the Rocky Mountains, this whole area right here could expect some pretty good snowfall. At least this whole area right here is at least seeing around 1 inch to even a few feet of snow, and at least go up to 24, so anywhere from an inch of snow to 24 inches of snow, which is also the same thing as 2 feet of snow. So make sure to keep that in mind if you do live in like the Cascade Mountains or even the California mountains, which is seeing the most active snowfall compared to the rest of the United States. And then back to parts of Ohio, we got some isolated areas of about a foot or two of snow on the other hand too as well. So yeah, pretty active snowfall across quite a bit of these areas, so make sure to keep that in mind if you do live in those areas. And now we're finally going to start talking about some severe weather. And if we look at day 3 with the excessive rainfall outlook, pretty much from Friday into Saturday, which is at the beginning of the weekend, we expect there to be some pretty active rainfall across the deep south, at least across Houston, getting into New Orleans, and then back through Mobile, and then back through the Panama City region of the south area, and then as far north as Montgomery. Yep, it does include Montgomery, and then back through Jackson, Mississippi, even Baton Rouge, and then pretty much around the Alexandria area too as well. So I would definitely watch this area very closely. Even Hattiesburg, Mississippi is included in this too as well. So make sure to keep that in mind. And now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Storm Prediction Center outlook. And as you guys can probably see, we actually do have a threat for severe weather across the deep south. This is going to be the same thing for at least let's see. This is gonna be the same thing for the beginning of the weekend. The same thing as the excessive rainfall outlook I was just showing you, and I should probably erase that. But this heads from, let's see, Monday into Tuesday. So actually not for the beginning of the weekend. This is gonna be for after the weekend. Okay, so make sure to keep that in mind if you have any action plans or even activities that you're going to do outside for Monday, January 8th to Tuesday, January 9th. So make sure to keep that in mind if you do live in, let's say, we're going to mark these areas. So if you live in Houston, Texas, if you live in Alexandria, if you live in New Orleans, if you live in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, if you live over here in Panama City Beach or even Panama City, if you live here in Mobile, or if you even live here in Lake Charles, I would definitely keep the severe weather threat in mind before we get to Monday into Tuesday, which is going to be from January 8th to January 9th. So make sure to keep that in mind if you do live in those areas. And now we're going to go ahead and show you guys the Climate Prediction Center outlook. And before we take a look at that, I probably should have shown you guys this, but we actually have another threat of severe weather on day 3, okay? I probably should have said this before I touched the Climate Prediction Center outlook, but we actually do have a decent threat for severe storms on day 3, which is going to be for the beginning of the weekend, okay? I didn't realize we had a severe weather threat for the beginning of the weekend until now, and it's in effect for this area right here, okay? So make sure to keep that in mind if you do live in this area. okay, but there's no hazard yet. We're gonna have to wait for another day before we can see the exact hazards, but as of right now, just showing the probability, which is about a 5%, okay? So just keep that in mind. And now we can go ahead and take a look at your climate prediction center outlook, and much of the western United States is seeing a really good chance for below average temperatures. Pretty much the entire western United States seeing below average temperatures, even across this area right here too as well. Look at that area, oh my goodness. So we're gonna actually scroll down a little bit to figure that out, and as you guys can probably see, that's an 80 to a 90% chance of seeing below average temperatures. And to be honest, actually, I think that's a 90 to 100% chance of below average temperatures, because this light blue indicates at least a 40% chance at the most. This darker blue right here indicates about a 40 to 50% chance, and then this darker blue indicates a 50 to 60% chance, and then this even darker blue indicates a 60 to 70% chance, and then even this darker blue indicates a 70 to 8% chance, and then right here indicates a 80 to 90% chance, and then this card indicates a 90 to 100% chance. So oh my goodness, guys, a 100% chance of below average temperatures across the Phoenix area, guys. That is gonna probably be a really big deal across that area. And then we're seeing above average across the Ohio Valley, upper Great Lakes, and then back through the East Coast. So make sure to keep that in mind. And now we're going to go ahead and show you guys the 8 to 14 day outlook, and same thing, below average temperatures across the Arizona area. It does get a little bit more widespread into places like Indiana, but other than that, just looking like we're going to continue to stay below average across these areas. And then even back through parts of New England and then Florida, we're seeing at least a chance for above average too as well. So make sure to keep that in mind. And now we're going to look at the 6 to 10 outlook on precipitation. And oh my goodness, guys, a big area of at least above average precipitation across this area. Just look at that, guys. Heads as far west as pretty much the Wabash River, guys, and this is gonna be crazy, okay? And all those storm systems that we were just showing you, that is gonna be something we have to really watch closely for. But just look at that big area of above average. We're going to put an A for that, above average precipitation, or we could even put another A for above an average, and then we're going to put a P for precipitation. Above average precipitation is what we expect across this area right here, so make sure to keep that in mind. And now, 8 to 14 outlook on precipitation. The chance does die down, but still stays in effect for pretty big area of the southeast. I probably should erase that, but still is in effect for this area right here. We're still seeing above average precipitation across that area right here. So make sure to keep that in mind. And now we're going to go ahead and start you guys off with the GFS model now, and as we continue to take that forward, we will start to see quite a bit of rounds of storms move through. So we'll see this one right here, which will bring both snowfall in as well as a few other things to parts of the Ohio Valley. And as that one finally heads out, it's showing another storm system move through. And just look at that, guys. Fast moving heavy rain across Indiana or even the Evansville area. Just continue moving up that thing. And then we're seeing heavy snowfall across Missouri, Illinois, northern Indiana, getting back through the Great Lakes region. And just look at that, even strengthens too. Wow, look how low really gets, guys. As low as 81, guys. That is a super low pressure system right there. That could definitely strengthen a little bit, and then we'll see another possible round of maybe some snow and as well as some freezing rain. This one is going to be more of a winter storm type system, and what I mean by that is that look at those pink colors, okay? As we continue to take that far, it will just head northeast east, so it will pass southwest Indiana and continue farther north. And to be honest with you guys, we should actually look at the total freezing rain, and we'll talk about that later today. I might actually want to do another video to give you guys a quick update about the freezing rain totals, but as we continue to take that far, that will head through parts of New England, and then we may even see another round, which will have to be something to keep an eye on. And now, in parts of the deep south, and as well as the Ohio Valley and northeast, we see a really big area of precipitation, at least anywhere from an inch to maybe even about 5 inches in quite a bit of these areas. We're going to circle this whole area right here, and as you guys see, very big area of above average precipitation across this entire area that I'm circling right now. We're going to put an A for above average precipitation across this area right here. So make sure to be aware of some possible above average precipitation right here and across these areas. So something to really watch closely for, guys. And I mean, even though we aren't seeing like super big rainfall totals farther east, I mean, we could still be seeing at least up to 2 inches in some areas, which is something to really keep in mind, especially if you have any plans going for at least the next couple of days or so. So make sure to keep that in mind. And now we got the total snowfall to talk about, and this will be the last thing in this video. And as you guys see, very big area of at least a foot of snow right here, so pretty big areas to watch. And this is about 1 foot of snow right here. We're gonna put a 1, and then we're gonna put an S, so 1 foot of snow right here across this area. And then back through parts of New England, we're also seeing the same snowfall totals. We're seeing at least 1 foot of snow across this area right here, and as you guys see, even more than a foot of snow in some areas. And then back through much of the Rocky Mountains, we're just gonna circle the entire thing. We are seeing a ton of snowfall across those areas right here. So look at that, guys. Whoa, 26 inches of snowfall across the California mountains, guys. Look at the Cascade Mountains. Wow, 67 inches of snowfall across that area. So I mean, ski resorts are 100% opening up in those areas. Go skiing out there no matter what, because I mean, that is just going to be the area that's going to see the best snowfall for skiing. So make sure to keep that in mind if you are wanting to go skiing. But that's really all we're going to talk about in this video. So thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. We will still be seeing if we see more in the way of winter storm potential across more areas. But other than that, not really looking like it's going to be as active as it was expected earlier. So we'll have to at least keep that in mind. But we can expect more changes with the European model and as well as the GFS model especially. So make sure to also keep that in mind. But like I said, thank you guys very much for watching, and I will do one tomorrow.